again. My name is Tara Magitz. I'm an attorney with the law offices of Drinkwater and Goldstein. This is one of a continuing series on various topics within primarily the area of personal injury law, but not exclusively. And as always, we welcome any comments, criticisms, concerns, critiques to each of the videos. If there's a topic that you are interested in learning some more information about, we invite you to identify that topic, and you may see it the next time or in the future as a video topic. So please send us that information. As a general disclaimer, all of the information that I am speaking about is related to the state of New Jersey and the state of New Jersey only. While it may be accurate as to another state, because we are not licensed to practice in any other state but New Jersey, this information is designed to only be specifically applicable to New Jersey cases. If you have such an incident as the topic that we're going to talk about, and you would like to get some more information but you're in a different state, I strongly suggest that you reach out to a practitioner in that state who will be able to give you that state's information. All of that said, our topic today is going to be post-accident PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, although recently it's also been called post-traumatic stress syndrome, PTSS versus PTSD, I believe. That they're using them somewhat interchangeably these days. If not, I apologize for my error. I'm confusing it with something else if that's the case. But in any event, one of the reasons that we wanted to talk about, or I wanted to talk about PTSD and post-accident, is that it's something that seems to be popping up more and more frequently, where clients are identifying what appear to be the symptoms of PTSD, post-motor vehicle accident or post-accident, and they are now actively seeking treatment for same. Whereas before it might be something that was downplayed, or that specific treatment wasn't specifically sought out for. So there have been various studies that have been done to actually determine the approximate rate that people who have been in motor vehicle accidents actually are diagnosed with and found to have PTSD post-motor vehicle accident. And that is, according to a study that was done, or a couple studies, 25 to 33%. So that's a pretty good portion of the motor vehicle accident involved population, being, 1/4 or to 1/3 of that population. And that's not an insignificant number, which means that one would hope 25 to 33% of those individuals in the overall motor vehicle accident who are describing symptoms that appear to be consistent with PTSD are actively seeking treatment. Unfortunately, that is frequently not the case, and if they do seek the treatment, actually receiving that treatment can be difficult, because insurance companies are often very skeptical of PTSD injury claims, identifying that it's an exaggeration in order to try to, make it for a larger personal injury case, and that they're going to miraculously improve and no longer need the treatment once settlement has been achieved. Unfortunately, this is not consistent with what the studies have found as to the occurrence rate of PTSD as identified, at least 30 days post-motor vehicle, 25 to 33% approximately. And that in total, well, it varies a little bit depending upon the methodology of the study, but 25 to 33% is a good rate that the studies are showing consistently across. And what is PTSD in general? We hear talk about PTSD and people developing PTSD, but do we really know and understand what PTSD actually is from a diagnosing standpoint? So to figure that out, we have to turn to the American Psychiatric Association, which has defined PTSD, and I want to be clear on this, a psychiatric disorder that can occur in people who have experienced or witnessed a traumatic event such as a natural disaster, a serious accident, a terrorist act, war/combat, rape, or other violent personal assault. Now, the APA, or the American Psychiatric Association, puts out a diagnostic manual, which has been identified as the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. The 5th edition was put out in 2013. It's shortened to the DSM-5. And they have identified the criteria for diagnosing PTSD. And the criteria for diagnosing PTSD are as follows. A stressor, such as what we discussed above. Direct exposure to death, threatened death, actual or threatened serious injury, or actual or threatened sexual violence, which can occur through direct exposure, witnessing the trauma, learning that a relative or close friend was exposed to a trauma, or indirect exposure to aversive details of the trauma, usually in the course of professional duties. Intrusion symptom is criteria 2, where it requires that it's persistently re-experienced in one of the following ways: unwanted, upsetting memories, nightmares, flashbacks, emotional distress after exposure to traumatic reminders, physical reactivity after exposure to traumatic reminders. Criterion C is avoidance of trauma-related stimuli. So avoidance of trauma-related thoughts or feelings, or trauma-related external reminders. Criterion D is negative alterations in cognition and mood. So that negative thoughts or feelings that began or worsened after the trauma in 2 of the following ways: inability to recall key features of the trauma, overly negative thoughts and assumptions about oneself or the world, negative affect, decreased interest in activities, feeling isolated, and difficulty experiencing positive affect. Criterion E is alterations in arousals and reactivity. So it's trauma-related arousal and reactivity that began or worsened after the trauma in one of the following ways: irritability or aggression, risky or destructive behavior, hypervigilance, heightened startle reaction, difficulty concentrating, and difficulty sleeping. The duration must last for more than 1 month, and the symptoms must create distress or functional impairment, and they are not due to medication, substance use, or other illness. So those are the criterion that if you believe that you have that you are suffering from PTSD for any reason, not just including following a motor vehicle accident, but including following a motor vehicle accident, those are the criterion that your treating provider is going to be looking to determine whether or not you meet the criterion. If you meet the criterion, your doctor is likely to actually diagnose you with suffering from PTSD and recommending treatment protocols. And one big example of a PTSD symptom that we see in individuals who have been in motor vehicle accidents is the feeling and avoidance towards continued driving. So we've had clients who have been in accidents on major roadways who have a fear of driving on other major roadways, and so they make attempts to drive in a manner that doesn't put them on a major roadway. We have other clients who have experienced a symptom where they can't be a passenger. They must be in control of the motor vehicle. Otherwise, they have extreme difficulty getting around, because being a passenger is extremely difficult, if not impossible, for them to handle. We have other clients who short distances that they will drive locally, but they will not drive any sort of a distance away from their local comfort area. and still others who will refuse to drive altogether. So those are some examples of the avoidance that we see specifically related to motor vehicle accidents. Additionally, there has been a study performed by NHTSA, which reports that 50% of car crash victims with chronic pain also have PTSD. And a lot of people don't understand that chronic pain really does have the ability to significantly and negatively affect your mental health. Dealing with daily severe pain and an inability to work, to do things that you love to do, and just having to deal with the intrusive and largely, from what we have seen, ineffective long-term pain treatment can really affect a person's mental health. It's very easy when you're no longer to do the things that you love to do to lose the validity that you placed upon your success in life because you're no longer able to do those things. And so we see frequently individuals who have been in accidents and had their ability to function as they had previously functioned, spiral into depression, decreased feelings of self-worth, struggling with their identity, and just figuring out, how to live on a day-to-day basis when their new normal is significantly different than their previous life, and how to reconcile the two. Because that pain and the inability to do what you previously did is a daily reminder of how the motor vehicle accident or any other type of trauma has adversely and potentially permanently affected your life moving forward. So if you do believe that you are suffering from any of the symptoms and criterion that I had mentioned as necessary for a PT diagnosis, regardless of what the type of trauma is, please seek help. Help is available. If you are unsure, your medical provider should be able to assist you with making that, is the one really to make that determination. We don't self-diagnose. And so I just want to return back to the issue of the insurance companies and skepticism with regards to motor vehicle accidents. If you have been in a motor vehicle accident and you believe that you are suffering from PTSD, you absolutely have the right to seek treatment for those symptoms, and I would strongly urge you to do so. The argument that exaggeration occurs to increase a claim or a settlement is significantly false. There was a multi-year study which followed a group of 171 motor vehicle accident survivors, and it revealed that, and I want to quote this, 3 years after their car crashes, there was almost no difference in the frequency of PTSD and psychological injuries in the group of accident survivors, and further, that after 6 years, approximately 85% of the victims who had settled their lawsuits still did not show any dramatic improvement in their PTSD, chronic pain, or other symptoms. So, if you believe that this directly affects you and you would like to speak to an attorney, as I said, my office is located in the state of New Jersey, and this advice and information is specifically related to the state of New Jersey. But if you are experiencing these symptoms and have been involved in a motor vehicle accident and you want to explore your ability to pursue litigation, please contact an attorney in the state where the accident occurred to see whether or not they can be of assistance. If you are in New Jersey and have any questions that you would like answered related to this in a motor vehicle accident which occurred in New Jersey, my office's contact information will be located within this video. Please subscribe to our station as we put out a video at least once per month. And if you have any topics that you would like to suggest that we tackle, please send us a suggestion through one of our methods of contact, and you may see it pop up. My name is Tara McGitz. I'm an attorney with the law offices of Drinkwater and Goldstein, and our office is located in New Jersey. All advice and information is strictly for those in the state of New Jersey. If you are located outside of the state of New Jersey, please seek competent counsel in your state for information as to what the actual status is in your state. See you next time. Hi, this is Tara McGitz from the law offices of Drinkwater and Goldstein. Please remember, as always, to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our brand new website, helpimhurt.law. That's helpimhurt.law. And the graphic should be somewhere on this video actually identifying what that is, and potentially with a link, so please feel free to come check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks. See you next time.